you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And, yeah, it is Eisbock time in the form of Schneider Aventinus Eisbock. I've had this beer before, and I'm going to tell you right now, typically a fan of it, but I haven't reviewed it yet, so picked this sucker up the other day in a little beer run and said, hey, might as well review it as I do all beers. Eisbock isn't a huge style. You don't see a ton of them floating around, but the good ones are good. I believe I've only reviewed one Eisbock before, and it is probably back and forth tied for my favorite Eisbock, and that was a Kullenbacher Eisbock. This Schneider Aventinus, best known, I would say, for their regular just Aventinus. Yeah, that kind of sucker goes back and forth depending on age. Which is kind of a weird one with the with this Aventinus Eisbock, in that there's really no dating code on it. There's no way to know how old it is. This one's a little bit roughed up label-wise, so I'm kind of hoping it has a little bit of time on it and kind of smooth it out a little bit. So yeah, but you don't see a ton of Eisbocks. Eisbocks are, for those who don't know, typically it's just you take a Doppelbock, and what you do is you just freeze the beer, and you kind of pull off water through the freezing process in order to bulk up the alcohol content, and in turn to bulk up a lot of things, body, color, the whole nine. So yeah, super excited to give it a whirl. One of the first good beers I've ever had, actually, back in the day when I first started drinking craft beer. So got a little soft spot in my heart. This sucker does. First off, they usually come out pretty damn dark. A bit lighter than what I expected, I'll tell you that much. Still not super light, but... And, I do the whole label thing. I usually go over the label, which I totally skipped for some weird reason, so I'll do that while this head kind of settles down. As far as what it says on the bottle, up top, Schneider & Son Aventinus Eisbock Ale, brewed and bottled by Schneider Weiss, Aventinus Eisbock down here in the back. Little story, Aventinus has been known to be the most intense and complex wheat Dopplebock in the world, and was the case recently in the past, but not anymore. Recently, Hans Peter Drexler, brewmaster at Schneider & Son, heard stories about some extra special Aventinus resulting from partial freezing during a cold winter transformation in the 1930s. Pretty much the same thing that happened with Kullenbacher. That sucker had a head on it, but it's pretty much gone now, as you can see. He decided to recreate this classic mistake to further concentrate this Aventinus in a modern, controlled facility. Thus, the Aventinus Eisbock was reborn. Prost. Let's see, 12% alcohol, so this is not a tiny beer. And like I said, there's no dating code on here. It says 3114. That could be January 30th, 2014. That would be your best by date then, which means this would be 6 years old, because this is 2015. Which I hope is the case, and if it is, pretty awesome. I know they came out with a new label design, especially for their regular Aventinus Doppelbock, Wheat Dopplebock. I don't know if they updated the labels for the Eisbock. So, there you go. Head-wise, like I said, it was there. It was pretty gigantic, off-white in color, but it's dissipated to pretty much nothing now. And it really does have a pretty color to it. It's like I almost going to say doo-doo brown. It's kind of like doo-doo brown. It's like a brown with just a beautiful kind of unfiltered haziness to it. You can get light in it and through it, but it's very, very cloudy, only mildly opaque. So yeah, I mean, this sucker looks like a nice beer. Let's see what she smells like. Ooh, prunes and dates and raisins and stuff. That's the first thing I get off the nose. Huge, kind of like that just datey, figgy, pruny, raisiny thing going on. Almost like plummy in a sense. After that, you definitely get your kind of wheat smell, your wheat malt from it, because it is just a wheat Doppelbock, frozen down and jacked up via the freezing process. But yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful sweetness there with just that raisiny pruniness to it. That's absolutely beautiful. It does smell like it has a little bit of time on it. I'll definitely give it that. A lot of your nice aged beers typically do gain a kind of raisiny chocolate, what I like to call raisinette smell to it and taste to it. And this kind of smells like it has that going on. So we will see. So that smells beautiful. My kind of beautiful. Looks pretty. Let's see if she tastes pretty. Cheers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This has time on it. Absolutely has a little bit of time on it. Just break it down pretty simple. It has a chocolate pruniness to it. A little bit of date, a little bit of figgy. And it drinks like a 4% beer. This is a 12% beer that is just a fluffy, beautiful, awesome pile of deliciousness. Yeah, this is a great beer. It's a great beer fresh too. Like I said, I've had it multiple times. But if you can get your one with a little bit of time on it, and again, they don't really date code their bottles. I don't think that's a date code. I could be wrong. But if it is a date code, I should email them. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, if you get a little bit of time on one of these suckers. Pure heaven in a glass. I mean, from the color, it's hard to pick up on camera, but man, it's like, and like I said, it's like a doo-doo brown. It's like a dirty, 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 muddy water with a decent amount of carbonation. Even though there isn't a head retention there, you can kind of see, kind of roll that sucker around, and it'll give you some head on it if you really want to bring it out. Beautiful carbonation. Really nice Dopplebock-esque fluffiness. I mean, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say denser, a little bit, it's different than a Dopplebock. It doesn't have that quintessential fluffiness. I assume from the Eisbock process that it kind of brings that down a little bit, but it really has a nice mouthfeel to it. And just that raisin figginess is just off the charts good. Yeah, beautiful beer. Beautiful, beautiful beer. Like I said, 12%. Zero booze whatsoever. Yeah. I do the whole label thing too. Didn't talk about that. Cool label. I always like the Aventinus labels. The new updates are kind of a little bit hokey. A little bit more synthetic looking. Quintessential Germanness and its kind of styling. But yeah, this is a beautiful beer. Rating wise, I would give this a 92. Just a fantastic beer. If you're into... If you're a really big fan of unfiltered wheat beers, and you want to try something super jacked up, and that's essentially what it is. Like I said, it's a wheat Dopplebock that's gone through the Eisbock process. So you're talking about basically a jacked up wheat beer that has been froze filtered, I guess you would say, to bring off some water to jack it up. So it's pretty much a gigantic, crazy wheat beer on steroids in a good way. So if you're into wheat beers and you just want something that's kind of just off the charts different, but still maintaining that kind of wheat soul, I guess you would say, it's definitely worth a whirl. If you're a big fan of Dopplebocks and you want to try something that's just a bit bigger, definitely worth giving this a whirl. And if you're just into good beer, man, especially if you can find one aged, if you like a little bit of age on a beer, nothing ages quite nice as one of these suckers. So yeah, what I say, 92 overall. I think it's 92, 93. Let's get right around there. Not sure what I rated the Kullenbacher Eisbock. I'm assuming right around the same. Might give it a tick more, but if I did, I made a mistake. It's neck and neck. If anything, with this having a little bit of age on it, might have kind of edged it out, but beautiful beer nonetheless. Rating or value and availability. I can typically get these pretty much whenever I want, whether it be singles, cases, and or I don't even know if they come in 4-packs. I think they just come in loose out of the case. But I'm usually looking about $6 a bottle, and for me, can't go wrong with that. That's a great beer at that price. So I'm going to give it on a value scale of 8. And availability, well, then pretty much just said it, value and availability. Availability is a 9, value is an 8, and 92, 93 overall. Just a great beer. So there you go, another review in the books. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. Massive beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice, beautiful Eisbock right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.